In this video, we will learn how to take sharp macro images and how to tweak your camera settings for better macro photography. I will also walk you through my powerful setup and a homemade macro flash diffuser. Let's jump right in. Good morning everyone. Welcome to another vlog, and today we are at Hounslow Heath, a massive 200-acre slice of wilderness right on the edge of London. It's actually all that's left of a historic 4,000-acre moorland. This place is a macro gold mine. It's home to rare insects, 230 plant species, and even a national significant population of others. The biodiversity here is insane for an urban reserve. I'm looking for anything that moves, beetles, spiders, or maybe even a common lizard if you're lucky. Today is a pretty nice and sunny day, and I'm hoping to get some good macro shots today. Let's head into the wild trails and see what we can find. The main paths are great, but for macro you want these wilder trails. This is one of the trails that goes inside the park. Usually this area is quite bushy, but I could see that recently the grass has been cut, and I could remember that because last time when I visited this place I got stung by a plant actually. So I would recommend to wear proper boots and even gloves if possible, and try not to touch anything that you are not aware of. There is an insect house just near the first trail of the park. You will usually find these kind of insect houses in local nature reserves or bigger nature reserves as well. So now I'm moving inside the first trail because near the insect house I didn't find anything, and there was some fencing done around it, so I couldn't go around the insect house to find any subjects. The weather is good today, but as we move inside these trails, I can sense that the light will be very less because the macro subjects are not easy to locate. But I'm not worried because I am carrying my flash and my diffuser and all the setup that we'll talk about in a minute so that we can capture good shots. Sorry?
What are you looking for?
Insects.
Insects?
I showed insects, yeah.
Okay.
This is normal for me. So every time I go to any park or any wilderness areas, so people come around and check what I'm doing, and with all these camera gears and everything. It's quite fascinating to see that people take interest and have curiosity as to what this guy is doing with all these camera gears. Let's see if I even could find anything here. I don't see there is any activity around, so sometimes it's kind of tiring and annoying when you couldn't find anything. Oh yes, I definitely see something, but it is too small for the naked eye. It's a spider, but I don't know which spider it is. So before we shoot, let me walk you through my setup for today. I'll be using my Sony A6700 camera, which is perfect because of the APS-C crop factor that gives me more reach on tiny subjects. And I'll be using my Sony 90mm f2.8 macro lens. It's tack sharp and offers 1:1 magnification. It also has a manual focus and autofocus clutch system that is pretty amazing, and I like the manual control there. It has two buttons on the left. One is for a stabilization and one is for the focus distance. We can also use this lens as a portrait lens because of the constant f2.8 aperture, and it gives us a pretty creamy background. And I'm also carrying my external flash, which is Godox V860 version 3, and I got this flash from eBay as an open box. I would highly recommend this flash because it's very powerful even for macro focus stacking. The battery life is quite amazing and it will never let you down on the field. Okay, let's turn it on. So it has an inbuilt lamp that is of 2 watt, and it's an LED lamp for night photography. It's a constant light that can be adjusted based on the light that we need to focus on the subjects. It comes in pretty handy when we need to focus on the subjects and the light is very less. So at that point, we can use this lamp. We can adjust the intensity of the lamp. So it goes from 1 to 10, 1 being the minimum and 10 being the maximum. You can see this is 10 and this is 1. This is very less. Last but not the least, I'm also carrying my homemade flash diffuser. I have created this home using a special type of plastic sheets, which I'll link in the description below. And these sheets provide a very good diffusion for the flash. So the flash is very powerful, and because its light will be too harsh on the tiny subjects, I'll have to use a diffuser to distribute the light evenly on the whole subject. This is actually the secret sauce for macro photography. It softens the harsh flash for those pro level natural looks. Let's attach the flash to the camera, and it has a locking system that is pretty good, and it makes the flash secure. Okay, so the camera is ready, the flash is ready. Now let's attach the diffuser with it. So I'll remove the hood actually because it will interfere with the flash. So I'll remove the hood and also the filter, because filter reduces the quality of the lens. So I'll remove that as well. So I have attached a small carabiner with the diffuser so that I can carry it with my bag. It's pretty handy actually. So I'll remove the carabiner for now and then attach it with the camera. Carabiner is out. Now let's attach the diffuser with the head of the flash. As you can see, the diffuser is cut precisely based on the head of the flash. It perfectly fits, and for extra security you can use a rubber band or a clip to fix it. Let me adjust the diffuser a little bit so that it fits properly and there's no problem while shooting. I don't need to worry about the light spill that will happen from the sides of this diffuser because the flash is too powerful, and even if 10 or 15% of the light spills out, the diffusion will still be good. Compared to other branded diffusers which comes around 90 or 100 pounds, this is pretty good and it works well in the field. It's not perfect. Let's see how it performs today. Let's talk about the settings that I will use for macro. So shutter speed would be 1 over 160. That is the maximum that my flash will allow. And anyways, shutter speed should be the maximum and it should be at least the double to the focal length of my lens. That is a general rule to follow, but you have to experiment with whatever best you have. The aperture I'll keep at f11 or f13, and I'll be changing it depending on the size of the subject and the depth of field I require. The ISO I'll keep at the minimum and I'll put it on auto from 100 to 200 range. I'll change the subject recognition to insects, which is a powerful feature in this camera. The drive mode would be continuous shooting at the highest possible rate so that I can shoot multiple shots. And the focus area would be expand spot or spot depending on the size of the subject. So expand spot is quite flexible when it comes to choosing your focus point in your frame. I'll go with spot medium for now. Here in London, the light changes a lot, so I don't want to take any chances with my macro photography, and because of that I'll use my flash on manual mode so that I can control its power and I can decide how much light I need for lighting the subject. Also, I'm setting the zoom on the flash manually depending on the focal length of my lens. So lesser the zoom, the flash will spread the light more. The flash power also has to be set manually, and it should be based on the number of shots we are planning to take. So 1 over 256 is the lowest power and 1 over 1, that is the full power of the flash. So depending on the number of shots we are planning to take, the flash power has to be set accordingly. One pro tip here, so while doing the macro photography, we should try doing manual focus because the subjects are too small and it's difficult for autofocus to hunt the subject. So we also can try to move our body back and forth to find the perfect focus on the subject. Okay, so now we already spoke about all the settings and the pro tips and everything for the macro photography. Let's do some practice, and it's always good to have some practice with whatever we have learned, and because all the rules doesn't work always on the field. So whenever we are on the field, we always have to change our settings and adjust as per the lighting, as per the subject. I found one berry which is isolated. So I'm trying to shoot it and then show you the working of the flash and the camera. Look at the black background of these berries. So I've managed to get that because of the flash power, which is more than the ambient light. Also because the background is far away compared to the camera distance from the berries. Just look at these details. The way the light hits with that diffuser makes all the difference. So I used 1/4 for the flash power and 70 mm for the zoom so that I can spread out the light more. I found a butterfly that was flying around and it was quite spontaneous, and I did not know that I wasn't recording. So I'll share the image in the video. Oh, look at that. I don't know how the brain works for people like these who throw the litter and keep it decorated on a tree like this. It's a beautiful park and it's totally green and a different ambience, and how the brain works for these people that they want to throw something that is out of question. I'm not able to find any insects in this part of the park, so I'm moving to a new different location and then we'll see if I could find anything. Going inside the forest kind of looks like. Let's see if I could find anything. There is one thing I want to share with you guys. Frankly speaking, you don't need a high-end gear to do macro photography. It's about the lighting, it's about the magnification, and it's about the composition that you're going for. Photography can also be done using a mobile phone. Nowadays, we have a lot of high-end mobile phones that comes with macro lens, and we can use those for macro photography. Of course, the magnification will not be that great and the quality will not be that great compared to a dedicated macro lens, but still, for beginners, even phones have those capabilities nowadays. And I'll come up with the comparative videos of macro photography done with professional gear and with basic gears as well. It's pretty difficult to find macro subjects, and because this is winter time, most of them are hibernating, and even if the sun is out, inside the dense forest there's no light, almost no light, so I don't expect them to come out and show some activity. Still hoping to get something. Even one insect would make my day, with a good photo of course. Okay, let's sit down. Let's see. I think I see a web spider on my left, and I don't know if I can show you because it's difficult to reach. It is sitting quietly on the leaf. Let me try to take the shot of it. Guys, there is a European robin in front of me. It's hidden in the bushes, but I just tried capturing with my macro lens. Okay, I still did not find the robin. I kind of have to wait, and that is the part of wildlife photography. So you have to wait for the perfect moment and even to search the subjects, birds and insects or animals, whatever we can find. But it is quite worth. So for a photographer, even if we get one good photo in the whole day, that will be sufficient. That will make our day. So that is how we spend time and our energy to get something. I think I got something. Yes, look at this. Yeah. Huh. Wow, very nice. I know it's not a great photo. It's cluttered actually, but at least I found it and captured it. I think probably I should move. I should not wait much in this part of the park. I might get something good in the open area which also gives pretty good opportunities for macro and birds. So, and now we are moving towards the open area where we could find some macro. So this was one of the trails, and there are many trails in this park. I see some activity here in the open area. Let's see. I'll park my bike here. See if I could find anything. So I went inside this forest and to look for the two-tailed spider, but instead I found a tree sap which caught my eye. On my way to this area, I actually saw some birds, but right now there is no sign of them. Instead, let's search for some macro subjects. Luckily, I found this beautiful spider which was camouflaged in the bushes. So now I'm moving towards a wild patch for some macro subjects. People have left some seeds here for the birds. I found this beautiful ladybird in the wild habitat. It was moving quite a lot around the aphids colony and got some series of photos for you to enjoy. I'm happy with the shots which I got. So that's all for Hounslow Heath today. If you're in West London, get your macro gear and get down here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what your go to DIY diffuser is made up of. See you in the next vlog. Thank you.